Hi, my name is Rob from Applied Bolting. In this hands-on clinic, we're going to be discussing torque and tension. What is torque and tension? Torque is the amount of effort needed to turn the nut down the threads of a bolt. Tension is the elongation or stretch of that bolt that produces the clamp load in the steel. Now, to measure tension, we use the Skidmore Wilhelm. The Skidmore is a hydraulic load cell designed to measure tension independently of torque. For this demonstration, what we're going to do is we're going to tighten two different types of bolts down in the Skidmore. A fresh from the keg 7/8 A325 bolt, as well as that same size bolt, but in job site condition. It has a little bit of rust to it, a little dry. We're going to apply the same amount of torque to both bolts and see what kind of tension we get. The first bolt we're going to use is a 7/8 A325 bolt. It's the one fresh from the keg. Now, minimum tension for this bolt is 39,000 pounds. So now we're going to tighten our bolt using our electric, non-impacting torque wrench. It has an adjustable torque setting of 450 to 900 foot-pounds. When the dialed amount of torque is sensed by the gun, it automatically shuts off. In this case, we're going to set our gun to 450 foot-pounds. When the gun senses the 450 foot-pounds of torque, it'll shut off automatically. So we've got a tension of about 53,000 pounds. We're well above our 39,000 pound minimum, so this is a nice tight bolt. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our 7/8 A325 job site bolt and put it into our Skidmore. As you can see, it's dry, a little bit rusty. Something typical you might find on a job site where storage may not be ideal, or possibly the bolt has been up in the steel and it's been quite a while before the crews come around to actually tighten it. With our wrench still set at the 450 foot-pounds, I'm going to hold my finger on the trigger of the gun and we're going to see what kind of tension we get. I'll bump it one more time just to be sure. We have a tension of about 15,000 pounds, so we're not even close to our minimum of 39,000 pounds, which we're shooting for. So there's two things we could do here. The first being increase the torque setting on our gun, or we can lube the bolt assembly. In this case, we're going to lube it. As you can see, the tension of the job site bolt is much lower than the bolt we pulled straight from the keg. With a dry bolt assembly, most of the torque is used up overcoming the friction caused by the rust. Your efforts are spent fighting friction, not advancing the nut. The result is a lot of work, but loose bolts. This reinforces the idea that just because you torque the bolt doesn't mean it's tight. So the first thing we're going to lube is the washer face of the nut. About 40 to 50% of our torque is used up between the nut and the washer contact. Another 40 to 50% of our torque is used up between the threads of the nut and the threads of the bolt. Again, we're going to take our gun, still set at the 450 foot-pounds, hold my finger on the trigger, and we'll see what kind of tension we get. We got about 48,000 pounds of tension. We're above our 39,000 pounds, which is the minimum. By lubing the washer face of the nut and by lubing the threads of the bolt, we're able to more than double our load. As you can see from this demonstration, torque is not a reliable means of measuring bolt tension. We tightened two bolts and achieved three different loads because of the varying degrees of condition of those bolts. The first bolt we used was the 7/8 A325 bolt, fresh from the keg, still had a little lube left on it from the manufacturer. The lube is water soluble, so if it's not stored properly, similar to that rusty job site bolt we saw, it'll be hard for it to get up to that minimum tension of 39,000 pounds that we're looking for. So it's very important. By lubing your assemblies, you can easily get it north of 39,000 pounds. And by storing your assemblies correctly, you're easily going to get a properly tensioned bolt.